and Iverson were still learning
Oh, just real quick. It's the camera. It's live. If you put me on there, you turn the camera around. It's easy to work. Zoom in like that.
The Nuggets would manage to finish at a mediocre 6th seed. However, despite this inconsistency, there would be some hope in game 1 of the first round, as the talented San Antonio Spurs would learn firsthand just how dangerous the duo in Denver can be.
Well, I really connected to it. Put me on that real quick. Record me, put me on that. Y'all get on her play right now.
Combined for 61 points, playoff debut together. The performance would result
I ain't streaming no more time, so I'm out there.
But the playoff experience of the already established Spurs resulted in San Antonio winning 4 straight games to close out the series, sparking their eventual run to a 3rd NBA championship and built up some chemistry for the year prior. The 2008 season was promising in Denver. The team would get off to a hot start, winning 7 of their first 10 games. But there was a noticeable shift in balance of power on the court. Despite Iverson making it clear that the Nuggets were Carmelo Anthony's team, AI would take on a much larger role in the offense, leading the team in scoring with 26 points per game.
Ready out 2. Yeah. Where you at? Where you at?
Listen, if you don't understand, when he played together in Denver, he was averaging
Disgust me.
and he was averaging 26.
Yeah.
This is what he was doing.
Hold this real quick. He's gonna be smoking all that. Give me on there. Like, just turn the camera. You know how to work it. I'm not cameraman right now. Alright.
That's why they still in the top. That's the only reason I ain't slim right here in the reference. I ain't going in the route.
Hey man, listen, I ain't never been got, bruh. I had crabs one
Although there
time.
have been questions surrounding how Iverson affected Carmelo's development, there seem to be no signs of
I've
Anthony
been around a
slowing
nigga
down,
burning. My
as
son
he
is
would
CRC.
continue his own growth despite having taken fewer shots per game. In fact, after averaging 25 points on 49% shooting, Anthony was actually named as an all-star starter for the first time in his career, grabbing the 2nd most votes in the West, trailing only Kobe
8
Bryant.
kids later, I still ain't
This
been got.
reflected not only on Melo's continued rise,
That's my reward. You
but
heard
also
that?
showcased his continued rise.
Y'all be ringing right now.
No shit. I ain't never heard that shit coming up. Bitches say they do though. That's crazy.
Together, Anthony and Iverson would both finish in the top 5 of scoring for the 2008 NBA season, leading Denver to 50 wins for the first time in 20 years. However, despite the high number of wins, the Nuggets would fall victim to perhaps the most competitive Western Conference playoff race of all time. For the first time in NBA history, all 8 of the playoff eligible teams would finish with above 50 wins, making Denver the highest winning 8th seed ever. This meant that Melo and AI were destined for a matchup with Kobe Bryant and the reloaded Lakers, a team who was hungry for a return to the top of the NBA. Los Angeles would put together a 4-game streak with the Nuggets, winning by an average of double digits each game. For the second straight season, Denver would find themselves losing in the first round to the eventual Western Conference champs.
I remember my baby mom thought I had got hurt. We went to the motherfucking Parenthood. He told her she was pregnant.
Got it.
Thought I got it. Somebody ain't never felt like this.
Got her down tough. Hey.
Didn't get it.
As is the case anytime a team gets swept in the NBA playoffs, especially
that
in the
moment, I
first
knew
round,
it
it
was
was
bullshit.
clear that the Nuggets needed to rethink their direction in the franchise. While Iverson had led the team in scoring, he was now about to turn 33 years old, and it became evident that the younger Carmelo needed a true second option if the team wished to reach true contention.
The big trade that transpired this afternoon, just huge going on, folks, between the Denver Nuggets and the Detroit Pistons. Allen Iverson, one of the game's best scorers in history, is headed to Detroit.
It happened, like that one thing, he gets traded to Detroit for Chauncey. Right? So it's like, I'm on the fence now, like emotionally.
Mine gonna be quick. I'm gonna go first.
This is my
Mine's gonna
brother,
go
like,
first. That's right.
Y'all just trade him off like that. Who are we getting, first of all? We better be getting some pieces. And they just like, oh, we Chauncey. I was like, oh, okay.
Bro, when they
Okay, now I see it. Like, nah, I can't do it now.
In return, Detroit sent the Nuggets' former NBA champion Chauncey Billups, a player who would fill the true point guard role needed for Denver to break out the first round.
They was bogus.
The Carmelo Anthony and Allen Iverson experiments
I ain't gonna lie, that motherfucker Rick Hamilton looked like he didn't miss, bro. He didn't miss.
Man, it was like he had a
Billups
bag.
was the coldest at the free throw line. He was the coldest, bro.
The nigga by the old boy, Rip Hamilton had a bad game.
But just never
He had an awful game.
It's funny because I feel like we have, like that was probably the core of like just a bunch of great dudes. We had that. It's just that we didn't have zero guidance. Like we were literally like misfits out there. Like we had all the talent and scoring, defense, athleticism, speed. We had it all. It's just zero guidance for us.
In the end, it was obvious that Denver had the pieces needed for a contender. In fact, with Chauncey Billups running the point and Carmelo returning to his role as a primary scorer, the Nuggets would even reach the Western Conference Finals the following season, something they had never done in franchise history. Sometimes that run in itself completely overshadowed the 2 years that Iverson was decided with yellow. But to forget this small 2-year window of time, a time where a prime Allen Iverson shared the floor with a young Carmelo Anthony, means to forget a unique period of time where the beginning and end of 2 Hall of Fame careers intersected.
To be
2003
it's a D4.
was the last time Allen Iverson would ever have a
Four.
He only lost twice.
Right?
following his
No.
time in Denver. He played for
No, watch.
3
Yeah.
teams.
Bro, like he went 11 years in a row.
Eventually stepping
He played
away
the A-Rad and
from
worked
the
his
All-Star. Meanwhile, Anthony would continue his rise as one of the most skilled players in history, playing for another 14 years and finishing as a top 10 scorer in NBA history before officially retiring in 2023. No, Melo and AI didn't win in Denver, but what they did do was cross paths at a perfect time, where fans across the NBA could witness 2 of the
Bro,
game's
stuff ain't come out till what? Ginobili?
at the height of
Ginobili, bro, that helped.
icons from different
They
eras,
was trying to figure out if it
putting on
was
a
travel.
show every
That girl
single day.
was cold. Oh, you got hit with that.
It changed the game.
Yeah, that changed. That
Changed the game.
Fit check. Fit check.
96 draft class. Hands down the best.
With the first pick,
This is the start of kind of a new era of younger players.
with the second
I
pick,
didn't know if a high school player was ready to play in the NBA.
with the third pick,
And seniors, they all started to play lower and lower and lower.
with the fourth pick,
I just started thinking people might not have it.
Last night, I was missing.
Y'all say something in the chat so I know y'all can hear me.
The best time in their life. It's the commissioner's baby. I was so excited welcoming the next class into the NBA.
Opportunity of a lifetime.
It was the Iverson draft. Where was Allen going to go? The people that went in 96 are among the best to ever play the game.
How many defensive player of the year?
That might be the best player.
How many MVPs?
They're the 10 motherfuckers.
How many Hall of Famers? We just really want to be best.
Growth and seen around the world since then.
There's too many killers.
We are the deepest draft that has ever been.
I forgot about Jermaine O'Neal, though. Coming out of high school.
From top to bottom, it's a no-brainer. 96 class is best ever.
It seems like my GSC, you want to stop them emo this morning.
One set of generations player.
Definitely legendary. I don't think it'll ever be any class better than that.
Am I allowed to take people's heads one at a time? It is absurd. All right.
He was taking a bunch of
Yeah, your boy from out there,
He actually came in the back and met all the guys individually, one by one. Some of us were sitting down, some guys were behind us, goes by shaking everybody's hand.
I forgot his name, man.
This was something I dreamt about as a kid.
Came out of college.
Commissioner Stern,
Came out of UMass. But they went to like the final in NCAA. The center. Andrew Bynum. Oh, man, you know Andrew
Some of the nigga in the fourth one in the middle right in front of Ray
tall,
Allen.
skinny motherfucker. Can't think of him right here. Damn, they showed the bottom of his head. Can't think of his name. They'll UMass and shit.
I think
Him right there.
welcoming the next class into the
Nigga in the green.
NBA.
And the suit, he's shaking his head, good turning his head. I want to say not Marcus Smart.
You wanna sit down?
Sitting down, yeah. What's his name, man? Big tall
That
leg.
was a moment to where you knew that the dream was actually coming true.
It was the Iverson draft. That's what I was saying. This was what everybody was
There you go.
looking forward to was where was Allen
The
going
one
to
who
go?
can't think of
Allen was
his name.
tough. He was one of the best players in college basketball, if not the best basketball player in college.
When Georgetown brought him in, there was an anticipation that there had never been for a guard. Allen was a revelation.
When I first saw it, I said, this little boy can't be what I thought he was. But I'm gonna tell you something, he was more.
Watch his game, though.
Allen is an offensive genius. He would just slither through the lane and he would make impossible shots.
His heart was always bigger than his height. He was a little guy, played ferocious, he played great, and bigger than his size was.
we have the best little guy in all of basketball.
I don't know anybody who was as competitive as he was.
I always felt like I was going to play harder than anybody out there on the basketball court. I'm going to come out here and play this game like it's my last.
That crossover was killer.
Georgetown, we did not like at all.
Me and Ray were rivals.
We knew it was always going to be a dogfight every time we played against them.
ESP. Put it up. They ain't gonna know that.
and three-point shoot. But in college and early this year, people forget that Ray would put the ball over his head. Oh, he was a beast off the dribble.
I remember we had the opportunity to win, then Ray had hit a tough shot.